Hi everybody, welcome to our Facebook Live event. My name is Jeff Burton. I will be hosting tonight's event. We are excited that you have joined us, and we are excited to dive in and talk a little bit more about the Bachelor's of Science Computer Science degree that recently launched here at WGU. We are excited to field your questions, and that is the purpose really of this Facebook Live. It's a new degree, so we know there's lots of questions. And so we invite you throughout tonight's program to put your questions in the chat, and we will answer as many as we can. If we're not able to get to the questions on our Facebook Live, we certainly will answer those in the chat, and so check back for those. But again, we're thrilled that you've joined us, and we're going to dive in. I'd like to introduce Karen, Elke, and John. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Thank
How are you guys tonight?
Great.
Wonderful.
Good.
Couldn't be happier.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and Elke leads. Brand new to the university, just joined a couple of months ago, correct?
Yeah, I
so
think the only thing newer than I am right now is our new degree program in computer science. But
Well,
started May 1st. Thrilled to be here.
Well, great. Welcome. Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Atlanta, Georgia. So within the last 2 months, have sold a house, bought a house, moved, drove 27 hours, moved a dog, unpacked boxes, started a new job, did a budget. Great. It's been very exciting.
A few things. Well, very good. Joining us our academic vice president of the College of IT. So,
That's correct.
Welcome. Let's do introductions. We'll start with Karen and then go down the line. So,
Sure.
Karen, thank you. Tell us how long you've been with WGU and what your favorite part about being here at the university is.
Yeah, so I'm an enrollment manager here for the College of IT. I've been here for a little bit over 3 years. One of my favorite things about being here at WGU is the ability to expand access to students. I'm a first-generation college student myself, and so being able to provide degree programs and the ability to go back to school to so many students who have families and work, right, who normally wouldn't be able to, is something I'm very passionate about. So that would be my favorite thing about working here, is being a part of that.
Awesome. Well, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you work in enrollment, so you
Yes.
can handle a lot of the enrollment questions
Absolutely.
getting into this program and what people need to know. So,
Sure.
Very good. Well, we look forward to your answers and hearing from you in a little bit.
Thanks,
Elke,
Jim.
tell us a little bit more about your background.
Well, first of all, I want her answer because that was excellent. 'Cause- and I have I have the same background as a first-gen student.
Wow.
But Jeff, I came from traditional higher ed, and not that our programs aren't traditional in the same way. But I think we are doing things for our students here, so focused on their success, giving them opportunities that I've not experienced that anywhere in my 20-year academic career. I attended the first graduation here in Las Vegas, and it was quite possibly the most moving event I've ever been to. So love being here, love the pace, love the chance I had to meet the students, and I feel really proud about the good work we're doing. And I get to work with this guy.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
John Baldery, tell us a little bit about yourself.
You bet. John Baldery, I've been with the university for about 3.5 years. And I think probably the thing I enjoy most is just my ability to be involved with the student experience throughout, like Elke mentioned. One of the unique things that our university does is no matter which department or which person the student is able to connect with throughout their journey here at WGU, we pride ourselves in making sure that they have the very best experience that they can have. Not perfect, but we try to be really student obsessed. We want to make sure that their needs are taken care of, that they're able to receive the help and the support that they need in this journey that we call education, higher education to be specific. And so we recognize many have sacrificed a great deal to come and be a part of our university. We want to give our very best every day. And I think that's the thing that brings me the most joy and makes me the most happy as I get up in the morning, throw my shoes on, and come to work, and then when I go home at night, just a lot of satisfaction around those components.
And real degree value. I think that's something else that's seriously important, is that we are industry recognized for the degrees we produce, and our students are well received in the employer marketplace, and that is a very positive outcome.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you to the three of you for joining, and thank you for joining wherever you might be. Shout out in the comments where you're joining, what part of the country. We have students living in all 50 states, and the College of IT and the whole university continues to grow, and in large part because of new degree programs such as the one that we're going to be talking about tonight. So again, a reminder, ask your questions in the comments section, and we'll get to as many as we can. But while those questions are coming in, Dr. Lees, do you mind telling us a little bit about the background of this degree program, again, when it launched, and what people should know about it.
This was just one of those incredibly exciting opportunities when I started here, and obviously there were a few things to get going in, and I learned that June 1 we were going to launch a brand new degree, a much sought after degree, something that we were really anticipating launching, and shout out to our team of curriculum developers and designers and faculty and mentors who really stood behind this degree. It opened its first enrollment class June the 1st. Over 80 students joined us. Another 200 some joined us in July, and I think in August we're set to welcome over 220. The response has been terrific. A lot of care has gone into designing this program, really looking at the standards, the course mix, the requirements, ensuring our students are going to be very successful in that program, and that it aligns with national standards for coursework and structural work in computer science, and that the competencies that our students leave this program with are immediately validated, verified, and used.
Excellent. Well, very good. Yeah, that sure is exciting. Are you guys ready to take some questions?
Sir?
You bet.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's dive right in. Thank you for this first question, which is, am I eligible for the BS-CS program if I have already graduated from WGU with a BS IT software development degree? Okay.
Sure, I can jump in on that one. So more than likely the answer is yes. What is different with this degree from our BS IT software development is that there is a math component. And so we want you to feel prepared for that. Calculus 1 is in your first term, which the software development program wouldn't necessarily prepare you for those mathematical skills, right? And so we have some resources available for you. Definitely reach out to one of our enrollment counselors and we can talk about how to prepare you for that. And yeah, we definitely have some resources available.
You know, I think that the wonderful way and the way the program was designed is, yes, we do put calculus up front because those are foundational skills that really will prepare our students to move forward in the program. There is a break in the second term, and this is providing that we follow the traditional path, because certainly students transferring in or students with other degrees rejoining us may or may not follow that traditional path. But I mean, Calculus 1, Discrete Math 1, Discrete Math 2, and then Probability and Statistics really round out that mathematics foundation. It's important as you get further into some of the development courses, the programming, the algorithmic approaches. But I've learned, being new, our Math Center it's an incredible resource that is there for our students throughout the length of their program. And I've gotten a chance to see some of those resources and the way that they're preparing students. You know, if you asked me right now to return to a Calc 1, a Calc 2 course without any of that ramp up, sure, integrals, derivatives, and then I stop, right? You have to really go back, go limits, theorems, how do you approach those? It takes really re-exercising those math muscles,
Sure.
But I think our students have grit and the ability to learn, and we've got the resources to help support that. So we would really encourage them to give it, be prepared to work hard, but know that the resources are there to help you achieve that learning.
Yes. Anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
So if they have that desire and that grit, we can help them be successful.
Absolutely. I should mention as well that there is an app fee waiver, so if you are interested in applying, we'll take care of that $65 fee, and that is Comp Sci. And so enter that when you are applying, and if, I think it's flashing on the screen now, but if you do have questions and you want to speak directly to an enrollment counselor about your situation, the best number to call is 866-225-5948. Or again, we hope that you'll ask questions here and we'll do our best to answer them. So the next question, will there be a master's degree soon in computer science?
Oh boy.
I've gotten this
We're
one.
getting anxious.
I know, and you know what? I mean, you get so excited about that opportunity to offer those graduate degrees as extensions of the work we're doing at the undergraduate level. Right now, my focus is absolute success with the undergraduate degree in computer science. We owe it to the students that have enrolled and the students that have yet to enroll to demonstrate the value of that degree and to put all of our energy and resources into supporting them in that. This is a foundation year for that program. I know strategically both John and I are going to look ahead to see how we can support students if they want to advance to a master's degree, if the market is ready for an additional master's degree, and if and only if we feel we have really the ability to offer that at the highest level. We're not going to put out something that we don't feel we can offer with the strongest market reception and as the strongest value to our students.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So, keep in touch with us, check back, but like Dr. Lee says, we're focused on helping the students in the current bachelor's program to succeed.
Yeah, it would not be responsible for me to say absolutely yes. Oh, I want to. I mean, I can tell you, but
I
it's
can
got to
sense
be
that.
at the right time with the right resources, and when this proves to be an incredible success.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. Next question. Can you switch degree programs before one is completed? And I'm assuming that is at WGU. Would you be able to switch programs before completing the first one?
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm guessing this is a current student enrolled in one of our programs. And so what I would recommend is reaching out to our program mentors, and your specific program mentor would be able to look at where you're at in the degree program, and if you're interested in this program, does it make sense with the transfer credit that you're going to receive to go to this program, that sort of thing. But absolutely, it's definitely an option.
Yeah.
Definitely possible.
Yes.
They would work with our records office as well to make sure if there are some additional courses they might have to take, that they understand fully what that transfer looks like and what those guidelines would entail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're enrolled somewhere else, we certainly accept students
Yes.
transferring from
Okay.
other
Yes.
institutions.
Good clarification. Okay, great. All right, let's go to another question. Why was calculus removed as a requirement for the CS degree?
It's not removed.
It's not removed.
Calculus is the first course in the term.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is a welcome to your degree program. Here is your first
Enjoy.
first course.
Yeah, enjoy.
And it is enjoyable, but
Sure.
it is absolutely part of the
Okay,
degree program.
good,
Yes.
good to know. Okay. Let me ask you about the certifications, because I understand there's some certifications with this degree. Who wants to speak
Elke,
to
you want
that?
to take that one for a minute?
Bachelor of Science in Computer Science has 4 embedded certifications. So we've got the IDLE Foundations, so CompTIA Project Plus, the Oracle SQL course, and then the CIW Site Development Associate.
Okay.
So there are a little further down in the program. They're not in that initial opening 2 or 3 terms, but they are absolutely part of the program. And I think it really validates the degree, allows our students to have not only a degree to demonstrate their knowledge and their competencies, but additional industry recognized certifications that are also well received. It's kind of one of those double values. It was one of the things that drew me here. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
When you say double value, so they are, my understanding, they're included in the cost of tuition.
They
So
are.
you come, you pay a very affordable tuition, and along with the degree, you earn those certifications. Is that right?
That is
Which help you to
correct.
be more marketable when you get out there in the job force again, or up your skill set in your current environment. So it's a great value for our students. One of the things we love.
Yeah, great. Another question, is there a virtual lab to test some tools like Nmap for the cybersecurity program?
Well, one of those questions I don't like to say I don't know to, but in my 2-month tenure here, I have not dug into each of the courses and their requirements, but I know that our curriculum development teams have looked to be as certain as they can be that this is a real-world experience in learning and developing competencies. But it's something that if I can get sort of an exploratory baseline of those course maps, I'll be happy to give it to you and you can add it to the course.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll add it to the comments later.
okay, we'll definitely do that. Are we working towards ABET accreditation?
We have ABET accreditation in the lens,
Okay.
so as a downstream impact. We cannot apply for ABET accreditation until we have a student graduate from the program.
Oh,
so in
okay.
the 2.5 months, I'm not aware of anybody
Nobody's
that
made it
may be
yet.
able to make that happen.
Not quite.
But I think what's fascinating is this program was designed. And a shout out to the curriculum program manager that really was at the heart of this design, along with all of our
Yeah.
subject matter experts who brought it. She is actually a reviewer for ABET. So this was designed thinking ahead that this would be something we would pursue in the future.
Got to have that first graduate first.
Okay, so
We're working on it.
working on it. Very good. Another question, if I finish my degree before the 6-month term, can I start a new degree program right away, or do I need to wait until my term end to start a new degree?
Oh, that's ambition. I love that. That is focused and forward looking.
Yes. So unfortunately, at this time, you would need to wait the 6 months
Okay.
until those are over. However, that doesn't mean we can't get you prepared to start that new degree plan. So I would definitely still reach out,
Okay.
work with our records department to get you ready for that new program. Once those 6 months are up, we can get you right in.
Get you started.
Yes.
And certainly not a new question that has arisen before. It's really about being able to offer that in the right format. We have some system limitations that we're working through as we continue to evolve as a university and leverage the technology that's out there, but we have to abide by kind of the parameters which we've set up for those degree programs and when students can launch into them.
Okay.
So great question.
Great question, and it sounds like congratulations is in order to the person
Yeah,
asking that
absolutely.
question.
That's wonderful.
Amazingly
sincere-
so.
Holy
You know,
cow.
and it speaks again, I think, to the caliber and the dedication, determination of our students. Is, you know, can you imagine somebody who has the ability to demonstrate these competencies but never had the time or ability to go for a degree? And I love, I'm sorry, I got excited from that question. I was like, is that a real question? I was like, that's fantastic.
Absolutely. So great. Thank you for these questions. We'll just keep going through them. Does this program work for people with zero experience and very little knowledge in this field? Great question. So someone that's maybe not has a lot of experience, but would like to get into this field, what would you tell that student?
Sure. So what we're looking for here is the mathematical component. So no experience, that's totally fine. If you have a passion for computers and want to learn about the computer science field, great. What we want to make sure is that you feel ready for the math component. And, you know, like we've talked about, that Calculus 1 course comes in nice and early, so we just want to make sure students are ready for it.
Okay.
You know, it's really not an experience question in that regard for this program. I mean, certainly in different programs there are different requirements. We're a university. We teach. And I think we provide access to those resources and an environment with our course instructors and our program mentors that really will lead a student through that learning experience. You know, I don't know if everybody's aware, and again, this is one of those things that drew me here. When a student begins here, they're paired immediately with a program mentor that is there with them through the life of their learning here. And it's somebody that you meet initially that you develop a relationship with over time. I don't know where else that exists. And I think that is
Pretty unique.
It's pretty unique, and it's very enriching to the experience. So there are going to be times when students are going to need additional learning and support in some topic areas over others. But I think it's find where your passion is, find something that you love to learn and look forward to working in that field, and we hope to be able to teach you.
That's excellent. Let me ask a question a little bit deeper on the mentors. How do students interact with these mentors? Is it through the phone, through computer, through chat? John, tell us a little bit
Excellent
about that
question. We can all probably chime in on this, but certainly they do have some frequent contact by telephone, but they leverage technology through email and IM and other ways in which they can communicate. We drive them to certain resources and help each other through that environment as well. But yeah, we want them to have a personal relationship with their faculty member, their mentor, that's there to kind of support them throughout through the length of their program for however long they're with us. It might take some 6 months, it might take others 3 years, or whatever it is, but they'll have that personalized touch throughout the entire experience that they're here with us.
What was great, Jeff, is when I went to the graduation in Las Vegas, is I think the question I was asked most frequently by students before they found each other in this great room is, will I get to see my mentor? Because that was an incredibly meaningful relationship. And watching the relationships continue, obviously it's individuals and how they interact with individuals, but
It's impactful.
it's impactful that these people really make a difference in their lives.
Yeah.
And
And like you mentioned, they want to meet. So at the commencement or the celebration there, they're meeting face to face in many cases for the first time. Is that right?
If they can. Yeah, not every mentor or not every student is able to attend a graduation at the same time, but it was wonderful to see when those could connect and those mentors were able to attend the graduation and find the students that they've worked with for, 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, the next question. I'm transferring in from getting my associate's degree. Are all study materials online, or are there physical books as well? Great question.
Yeah, so the resources we provide are all online. However, we do give you the names and titles of the book, publishing date, all of that information. So if you did want to go get a physical copy, you're more than welcome to do so. What we provide is online.
Is online, okay. No more lugging around large textbooks.
Exactly.
Okay.
It allows us to be relevant as well, because textbooks, typically my experience is by the time they're published and in print, especially in this field, there's a great deal of obsolescence. That this allows us to be very relevant in our course design and our selection of resources.
Keeps our content up to date.
Yeah. Well, I've heard from students as well that will study on the plane, on the train, on their way to work, from an iPad, from an iPhone. I mean, they can access all of the materials online. And
Exactly.
so that's a nice,
That easy
nice
access.
benefit.
Mhm.
Very good.
True
Okay.
flexibility.
Very nice. All right, another question. Concerning the certification examinations like A+, Security Plus, etc., if a student fails the first time, is there another chance to take another shot at the examination? And if yes, will the school pay for it the second time?
John?
I think we can all agree on this one. We do. We want our students to be successful, and so that we do give them the opportunity to retake that exam. Sometimes there's a waiting period that they need to adhere to before they can take that exam again. We would like them to engage not only the resources that are available to them to help them further prepare to know where they maybe had some deficiencies, but to engage their program mentor, their course instructor, that subject matter expert, and make sure that they're going through the various tools and resources that we've deployed to them from a learning standpoint so that they can better successfully prepare themselves for the next attempt. But yes, we want our students to be successful. That's what we're all about, mission driven.
The faculty member in me, I know if an assessment isn't successfully completed the first time, sometimes students can feel they lose a little bit of confidence in that. I really want to encourage our students that yes, while we do offer an additional attempt, is to prepare for that first attempt and to work with the course instructor and the mentor and the learning resources in the course, because it is a fantastic feeling when you do make that attempt on the first, kind of
And are
clear that
successful.
hurdle on the first attempt
Yeah.
and are successful. And I think many times there's this sense of, well, let me just give it a shot. And certainly we can do that, but I always say, well, give it a shot with some preparation.
Yeah, you wanna
so that
prepare.
you really, increase the odds of being successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Okay, another question. What level of math is taught up to? Machine learning typically requires linear algebra from what I've seen. Any thoughts on that question? This question?
We touch upon machine learning in the introduction to artificial intelligence. It is not a deep dive. We go to discrete 2. I think that has elements of linear programming in it. Again, it's not that deep dive. Now, I will, our curriculum program manager and our general education math specialist can weigh in on that, because I'm not going to go too far down that on this particular learning outcome and objective embedded in the program. But I know that we take the math requirements very seriously. We are not trying to dilute them, but we're looking at those that are specific to the competencies of the program. I know I've had a lot of kind of gen ed math experience, and certainly we all have in our own educational pathways. And you walk away going, well, I took 15 weeks of math, where maybe 4 weeks of that are readily applicable to what I'll be learning and working on and specializing in. We're not time-based. We look at the competencies embedded in that math content to choose exactly that which will impact the career and the degree choice.
Okay, good to know. Also, is C++ taught in the curriculum?
Yes.
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 It is. Okay.
Yes.
Along with Python and Java.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask a question just as far as what students can expect from the course load. We've kind of touched on that, but just to give kind of an overview of what the experience will be like for the students and what they can expect.
Well, I think if you think about it, and maybe it's the image of a traditional degree program in, 8 15-week terms spread out over 4 years, where you take this many courses and they start here and they end here. We have terms and we have a number of competencies that equate to, in a way, kind of that model, 120 competency units. But they can be completed at a student's time when they're ready to complete. They get to move on. So it doesn't continue on. We do look for a minimum of 12 competency units per term, which kind of is on-time progression, full-time involvement. Certainly, and here's, I think, the greatest benefit, you can start with 12, complete 12, if your knowledge base is such that you can readily progress through those units and go on to others. So you can shorten your time to degree based on the time and the energy and your flexibility to put into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And please go on.
No, there's no limits to the amount, so to speak. As long as you can demonstrate competency, you can continue to go. But the minimum is the 12
Is the
competency
12.
units.
Now explain the tuition a little bit further. So if they've hit the 12 minimum, but they're able to complete a couple more courses, do they pay for those courses, or is it all included? How does that work?
So it's flat rate tuition per term. So for the 6 months, If you're able to complete those 12 CUs and move on to additional courses, that's all included in your tuition. So there are no additional fees.
And please do so.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, there's nothing we'd like to see more than students. And sometimes you need more time on things that are challenging to you. And there is not a single program where we can teach to the level of every student enrolled. And I think, again, that's really kind of part of what I think is the magic here, is that I might need infinitely more time on certain concepts than Karen. So I can take the time I need and she can rapidly move through and demonstrate her knowledge. I can ensure I know it because I'll need it later, and then other things I can move at a different place. So we could join at the same time, and within one term be at different places throughout, but at the end complete with 12 plus competencies.
Yes.
So you're not waiting for the class to catch
No.
up or
No.
feel like, oh, they're waiting for me, I'm asking all these questions. You go
Right.
at your own,
Yeah.
at your own
Right.
pace. Okay,
Which
great.
is phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it's a great motivator, right?
It's, you know, and for working adults, you know, again, I think in traditional higher ed, I see I mean, and with best intentions, trying to serve working adults who have some college, haven't been able to complete college, might be at a place where they need to upskill or underemployed, and then you come up with this time-based system. You come up with a location-based system. You come up with hurdles that no one intends to put in the way. But here the hurdle is really a student's own motivation.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Another question, can a student double major at WGU?
No.
Okay.
So we offer degree programs as a whole, and each degree program is very rigorous, especially with computer science that we're talking about right now. So we find that students are successful when they're able to put their time and energy into this one program, and you know, the courses are time intensive, right? So we want you to be focused on that one course at a time and be able to complete the program as a whole.
Okay. Probably a similar question, but then there's no minors as well, correct?
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay, I finished the software development program the month before CompSci was released. There are a few important differentiating classes. Should a master's CompSci program ever be created, would there be a mechanism for taking those deficiencies along with or before the master's level courses?
You mean, would that degree prepare somebody adequately for the Master of Science in Computer Science?
I'm believing so.
You know, Jeff, we are taking a very comprehensive approach to looking at our program admission requirements, the courses and the competencies that are critical to being successful in that. One of the things that our college has really focused on and decided we want to do is to be able to provide our students on-ramps of obtaining those competencies to ready them for a degree. You know, as an educational institution, we have that skill set and that ability. So we would like to, in the future, be able to kind of segment some of those learning opportunities to prepare someone without having to go somewhere else and gain those competencies. It's not there yet, but this is the year to really dig deep into it. So I hope next year my answer to that would be yes.
Okay.
Of course, I don't know, you know, chicken or egg. Do the competencies come first or did the degree come first? We've got a few things that we're working on, and it's coming to fruition pretty quickly, but it's a great question. And, you know, why would one have to go back and do an entire degree program when you have such a base of knowledge to be able to transfer to that next level and earn a graduate degree? So I think philosophically and certainly our will and want is there to do that.
And part of our mission is to be able to expand access. And so as we do that, we're conscientious to those types of situations and scenarios that we know we'll face as we continue to grow as a university.
Okay. Another question. My enrollment mentor said there were going to be changes to the course path. Is there any word on when this new standard path will be released?
Well, apparently, I'm not aware of changes to the
I'm not either.
course path. I can't imagine they wouldn't tell me. It's possible they didn't tell me, but we're not aware of any
Okay.
changes to that path. So, you know, I mean, absolutely, let's follow up and find out where that might have come from. But this is a new program, and a lot of time and effort went into really verifying and validating it. So it's not something that we launched with an intent of making changes in the near future. I think we really like the way it was designed and have a lot of support around that.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. I'm afraid that online class is not as valuable as an in-person class to a hiring manager of a big IT company. And secondly, let's maybe take that first question and we'll get to the second one. So what would you tell somebody that is afraid that maybe an online degree is not as perceived by a hiring manager of an IT company as a traditional?
From a tech perspective, in a College of Information Technology, I think that our employers and our partners value the portability of an online degree. They understand the rigors. In fact, in my old faculty days, when I used to design online courses, and I taught on campus as well, the rigors in an online course are typically more substantive than in an on-campus course. You can't hide in a classroom in the same way.
Yeah.
In fact, and shame on me, but when I actually did sort of an alternative instructional equivalency mapping where I looked at here's what I do on campus, here's what I do online, I had to back off because I think I did like 3.5 times the work and the rigors. We don't do that, but it was my awakening moment as a faculty member, and in dealing and in interacting with some of our partners, I've never heard from them in an IT perspective that this is less valuable. I think it really speaks to a student's grit when they are able to learn, complete a degree while doing so many other things and meeting the responsibilities of life. I think that is much more valuable to an employer than the ability to just set time aside and do nothing but work on school. So this combination and online opportunities, and this is not an online degree per se, it's a competency-based university that's delivered virtually. It's well received.
Yeah, well
Okay.
respected.
Well, and before we get to the second question, let me ask kind of a follow-along to that, because maybe it's important to understand how the degree is influenced by employers today, because I understand WGU works closely with employers, in this case in IT, on developing the competencies. Can any of you speak to kind of the process of developing the degree in that fashion?
I've been here 2 months. I can certainly speak with what's been shared
have a
and
high
what
level
I've
we can
learned.
add. We can fill in.
We have an IT council that advises on many of the degrees and content. We work, each of our degrees has embedded certifications, so they are already industry verified and validated through those certifications and the values they hold. We work with subject matter experts around the nation that inform these degrees that are also corporate partners, and our curriculum managers and designers in most cases come from industry. So it is not, a group of, no offense to my friends in academia, and we are all in that, but it's not a group of professors who haven't touched industry or industry standards for 20 years developing the curriculum. It's really influenced by industry and partnered with industry.
Yeah. And recognized.
Okay. Okay, very good. And the second part of that question, are there internship opportunities provided by the school?
Not yet.
Not as of today.
I love the idea, and when we've had a conversation about the idea, our student body is very diverse, and they have different familial responsibilities, work responsibilities, opportunities, and they're spread out across the nation. So there are some complexities as we look at how kind of internship, cooperative learning opportunities, high impact practices can influence our degree programs and how our students can interact with that. So far the focus has been on graduation and on really coming up with degrees that are industry respected, and the feedback we get from our employers is exceptionally good, and our students feel prepared for the workplace. I'd love to look into it and get some ideas and hear from our students. How could they manage internships, and how could we manage internships that are, going across many, many state lines?
Okay, what is the typical length of time for completion? Now, this one's a little bit hard to
We don't know
answer,
yet.
but I don't know if there's kind of a track or an idea.
There's a general setup of 8 terms, and so
Okay.
8 6-month terms is what it's designed to be completed in, but some will do that a little faster, some may do it just a little bit slower than but that's what it's set up and designed to be completed within those 8
Absolutely.
terms.
And looking at our other bachelor's degrees in the College of IT, approximately 74% of our students complete it anywhere from 6 to 36 months. And there's so many factors that go into that. If you're coming in with it transfer credit, right? That can minimize that. How much time and effort you're willing to put in each week will also impact it as well.
Well, and an associate's degree, if you're coming with a completed associate's degree. Now, we've learned, we work with our director of program mentors, who we watch our students' progress, right? We're very, very focused on, do they hit any hurdles? How are they progressing? How many competency units are they completing a term? Our program began in July 1. We have a handful of students that are consuming learning at an incredible pace, and we're in the backgrounds kind of cheering them on, because if these students were that ready to be able to demonstrate their knowledge, we're so glad they're here, because they're not going to be held to a 2 or a 3 or a 4-year completion rate. When they've met our learning criteria, met our learning outcomes and objectives, and we're able to demonstrate that in secure environments where we know it's those students completing the work and verifying that, and they can earn that degree in much less time. I mean, we talked about it. We're like, we were watching these students. We're like, can we come up with a special award for them if they, our first graduate and what they were able to accomplish? Because it's inspiring to watch, and my inner cheerleader is coming out and rooting them on.
I love it. I love it. Very good. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the new bachelor's degree of computer science that was recently launched at WGU. This is super helpful. We're going through a ton of questions, and we invite you to keep them coming in, and we'll continue to answer as many as we can. But a lot of good information, good questions are coming in, so please keep them coming. The next question: what programming languages are included in the degree?
So C#, Python, Java, those are the main 3 that we focus in on in this particular program, and those are all readily recognized in industry and tie really well to the competency units that we're trying to teach to in this program.
Well, and while C++, Python, and Java are really the kind of mastery languages in the program, I mean, there are segments on database that touch on SQL, right? There are other computer science, algorithmic, and architecture courses. So it's when we talk about what languages are included, where we actually want the demonstration of the use of that language in writing code to develop a program. It's those 3.
Okay. Okay. If you were to start the program of BS Computer Science because you don't qualify for another program at the time, are you able to change programs, say, after a year, or when you pass the classes required for the other programs?
Well, I think I'm a little... the qualifications for the programs, this doesn't have years of experience, but I don't know that the qualifications are that different for this program. This is certainly not an easier program.
Okay.
This is a rigorous program,
Okay.
and the math foundations are important. Certainly, we'll work with students, and program mentors will work with students to find the program that's right for them.
Okay.
I would rather answer the question that let us help you find a way to qualify for the program that you're passionate about, that you'll be successful in for the career you want,
Okay.
versus finding a program that for some reason or other you can be ready for today, but not a month from now.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
So
student passion plays a big part of it, right?
Yeah. So if somebody has that question and they're not a student currently, who's the best person to answer that for them?
An enrollment counselor would be happy to address those questions.
Okay. And if the student is already enrolled and not sure about the program, who should they work with?
Their program mentor would be a great resource for
Okay.
them to be able to help.
See, and those are better answers than me saying Karen or John, because that was my next one. Her.
Well, Karen can help
I
you.
think that's
Her
right.
department.
Yes.
They can do that. So, very good. Is there any way that I can see how many of my classes will count towards a transfer credit before I sign up? Thinking I might want to transfer from a community college.
Absolutely, yes. So what we would recommend doing is getting transcripts sent over. We do require an application, which we are offering that application fee for today, so that will waive the $65. So submitting that application, getting your transcripts sent over, and then we can give you a specialized transfer evaluation that will show you exactly what credits come in and what credits you would need to take here with us.
Okay.
And let me add, this is not an application process that is 28 pages long that will take you 4 weeks to complete.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 minutes.
It's yeah. I mean, because when I
no.
first looked at the application, I said because it's wonderful, right? It gives you an opportunity to get the conversation started, and that's what our application is designed to do: is to get the conversation started. And with the fee waiver that we're offering today, it's a great way to kind of have that assessment and be able to engage with somebody and somebody who's personally there for you, so you can ask all the questions that you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a reminder, the app fee waiver is comp sci. So whether you call in on the phone or you enter that into the online application, comp sci will waive that. And you can have all those questions answered before you sign up. So it's not one of
Yes.
those things where you have to do it and then you find
No
out, oh, it
pressure.
wasn't the right.
No pressure whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, we're happy to answer any questions and help you through that process, even in the decision-making process, right?
It's got to be the right fit.
Okay.
You know, we look at institution program fit. So we want our students to say, you know, I've looked at a lot of institutions, a lot of universities. I can be successful here. I've got somebody supporting me through all the processes here. I had my questions answered. It meets my financial ability. It meets my time schedule. It's not for everyone. You know, it is, and that's, I think we will all agree, we want students who are going to come here and be incredibly successful. We don't want any student to come here just because they think Western Governors is you know, fantastic opportunity, but then it's not the right fit for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, that's from my kind of educational background, but I think that really is the spirit and the culture of who we are, is come here and let us help you be successful. We don't want to force anybody into a program that's not right for them.
Okay. Can you talk about proctored examinations? How does a student take a proctored exam? What does that look like?
Sure. So it's all done online. We provide you with a webcam when you start the program. You'll set up your laptop or computer in your home office, and you will have an online proctor who will be monitoring your exam remotely. So it's very convenient. You set up the time and date. You can set that up a couple of hours in advance. It can be a couple of days in advance. It's pretty flexible as far as that goes. And they're available, their scheduling availability is very flexible as well. They go into the weekends and evenings and things like that. But all of that is done from the comfort of your home.
Okay.
The additional component, you want to mention the third-party certifications
Yes,
and how
I
we
was
handle
going to
those?
say, and
Yeah.
while those are absolutely for the assessments and the exams that are developed by our subject matter experts and our faculty, because we have embedded certifications, in some cases, not in all cases, those certification providers will ask you to come to a local testing center. Now,
Yes.
those testing centers are all over the nation.
Okay.
And you know, hopefully we find one that is the most convenient to our student where they're located. But in this case, the 4 embedded certifications, I do not believe all of them require a remote location, but I think 2 of them do. So that in that case, the student will make the appointment, will travel to their most convenient location so that they do the, you know, ID verification in purpose.
But still
in
some
person.
flexible scheduling and the ability to accommodate various needs.
And the your enrollment counselor would help you find the testing center closest to you.
Okay.
Again, all before enrolling as well to make sure
Okay.
that's convenient for you.
Okay, good. Another question. WGU is competency-based, so no grades are given out. If I decided to go to a brick-and-mortar school to get a master's of computer science after my WGU bachelor's, how do I list my GPA from WGU in the grad school application? It's a good question.
It's a great question, and you know, there you're going to get the best guidance from the school to which you'd like to apply. WGU is well recognized. It is a prominent university, and most of the graduate programs are aware of our programs. I think the admissions counselor at brick and mortar state institution will be able to answer that question. I know some students have written, you know, above satisfactory progress or satisfactory progress, and then asked how they would like that. Really, it's with the transcripts. The transcripts will demonstrate those competencies and the time to completion, and that's typically how GPA is reported anyway. Self-reported GPA is really not a valid admission criteria. It has to be a transcripted record, and then that's where that conversation.
So WGU has a records office,
We do.
transcription office, just like any other
Absolutely.
institution.
Yeah.
If you need those, you can reach out.
Our registrar's office, and I think, you know, obviously we don't want any student to go ahead and submit transcripts and go through an application process and a fee unless they know that's going to be accepted. So I
Sure.
would reach out and make the phone call first and just ask.
Okay, very good. Can you get enrolled and not start classes immediately? So if somebody wanted to enroll and then
For October?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
later
we
in the
can
fall.
absolutely start the enrollment process, get you admitted, ready to go, and then if you want to start a few months out, that's totally fine. We can postpone that start date, but I would still recommend giving us a call and getting that process started because it takes some time to get transcripts in and financial aid in order, all of that, so that way we can have that out of the way and then ready to go for that start date.
The great news is, too, that we start classes every month. And so
Okay.
sometimes in a traditional setting, they may be thinking they have to wait a whole semester. That's not the
Right.
case with WGU. The first of the following month, if the time is right,
Okay.
we can get you geared up and ready to go.
You mentioned financial aid. I was going to ask, is financial aid and scholarships, are those available at WGU?
Absolutely, yes. Both financial aid and scholarships, we accept third-party scholarships, and then we also offer specific WGU scholarships on our website.
Okay.
I was very excited to hear that as well. It's like one of those many new things I'm learning. I was like, do we do that? That's fantastic.
So the website for both, I think it's wgu.edu/scholarships. There's also, you could slash financial aid. And there is a scholarships team, there's a financial aid team, so if there are
Correct.
questions or you need assistance there,
Yes.
people are available.
And also your enrollment counselor can help you with some of those questions as well and address some of the more specifics to those teams.
Okay, excellent. Is the program all online, or are there things like in-person meetups for certain items?
There are not required in-person meetups of any kind or
Okay.
variety. It is fully online, it is self-paced, it is independent from a student-to-student perspective. Now, certainly within the courses, there is student interaction, there is a lot of faculty and course instructor interaction. But what I have seen that I think is a wonderful kind of outcropping, and it's homegrown in that way, but students will connect with one another. They will, through social media, reach out and, kind of do meetups of the old type and, find ways to get together and connect.
Yeah.
And
But they're not required to go to Starbucks and meet their
Okay.
Right.
program mentor or somebody like that.
Not required, but if a student did want to interact with somebody either locally in their community or even remotely in an online chat or something like that, there are opportunities for that.
Well, and students create those opportunities. I think a lot of times some students really want to have that connection. There are Facebook groups.
I was going to say, here we are on
Here we
Facebook
are,
Live
right?
today, right?
It's,
Go
it's
find
plant
them.
a flag, and
Yeah.
like the Olympic competitions. Plant the flag. Have the screen reader.
And we are working towards building our online communities and giving those students an opportunity to have that sense of community that they're seeking.
Actually, we'd like your help with that.
All right. Well, we're
Get
going
them
to
out.
wrap
We're
here.
in a public
and then-
forum. It's recorded.
and then- exactly. Then we're going to work on it. So we actually are down to our last question. So we just want to thank everybody who joined tonight for the fantastic questions. We do hope this has been helpful. Thank the three of you for your expertise and for helping. And again, please reach out with additional questions in your personal situation, and we would love to help you out.
Well, and if there's questions we didn't get to answer, or there are questions that I did not know the answer to, or somebody,
We'll get some
please
answers.
let's collect them and make
Okay.
sure, and we'll get them
Absolutely.
back out and get
We'll
them
post
posted.
those online.
because I was here to write down questions just in case I had to follow up with something, so I was ready.
Well, this is the last question, then we're going to talk World Cup for a second. We'll make some predictions. There's a big match this weekend. So the last question that we'll get to tonight, if I complete most of my classes in the first term and only have one or two classes left, and I have to roll over to a second term, do I have to pay the full second term tuition, or can I pay a prorated amount?
So not completing the entire 12 CUs in one term, is that right?
Yeah, so I complete most of my classes in the first, but I have one or two left, and I need to roll that over just for the second term.
Gotcha. So the second term, those courses would roll over, but we're still looking at a 12 CU term. So yes,
Okay.
the tuition would still be the same
Okay.
for that 6-month flat rate tuition, but it's still a full-time course load.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Any closing thoughts, John? We'll start with you and come down. Any advice or
Go Croatia.
Yes, that's right.
Croatia?
Croatia.
Is
Croatia?
that baseball?
I don't think the Bears are in
The
this
Bears
one.
are not in
Not Chicago Bears. I don't know.
No. I'm going to go with France just to be different.
All right.
So we'll see. But anything else, Elke?
No, I just want to remind everybody that we would love to hear from you, and I think it's thank you for offering that fee waiver for the application. I think that's very helpful, and please, our enrollment counselors I think can answer questions exceptionally well, and they're very dedicated, and I think like your passion and interest is that I haven't met anybody who's here just to be here for the sake of a job. It's very mission driven, and I think people care a great deal. It's what brought me here. So if there's something we can do to help, we want to.
Well said.
Go Night Owls.
Yeah, go Night Owls, our soccer team. We'll see. Our fantasy soccer team, right? Fantasy football team. Well, again, thank you very much for joining tonight. Hit us up with additional questions. Reach out. Remember Comp Sci for the fee waiver. And good luck to you in all your endeavors. Thanks for joining. Have a good night.
Thanks.